Perfect. Now the first mantra of Ishavasya Upanishad, for which the Upanishad itself is named. So because these are all part of the Vedas, the way they are traditionally chanted is through using the three swarasthanas. There are of course Saswara Veda Pathanam, which is using the three swarasthanas or the three notes of three musical notes where they are used. But that is definitely not something I'm comfortable with. At least I'm not confident that I'll be able to do it correctly. And even if I do it, it's not something that can be transmitted yet. So what I'll be just doing is a reading out, just plain reading out, which everybody can do. Just the pronunciations need to be taken care of. Vakshuddhi students know what Mahaprana sounds, Alpaprana sounds, Rasvas and Dirghas are. Make sure that those are followed. So this is how the first mantra is. Ishavasya midam sarvam yat kincha jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma grudha kasyasvidhanam. Once again. Ishavasya midam sarvam yat kincha jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma grudha kasyasvidhanam. The first mantra of Ishavasya Upanishad starts with Ishavasyam idam sarvam. That is the word split. Even the vibhaktis are interpreted upon, so it need not necessarily be Isha plus Avasyam. It can be Isha Vasyam. So, and what Vasyam and Avasyam mean, again there are interpretations, but all of them conclude at this. Isha Vasyam idam sarvam translates to all of this is inhabited by the Creator. At least I hope this sentence is confusionless. If you have questions right now at this point, you can raise and ask. We can go on an endless back and forth, or a short back and forth is also fine. But I hope this, yes. Your voice is not coming through clearly, Krishna. Now it's better. Yes. Halant. Yeah. So about the pronunciation itself. Okay, question about the pronunciation itself. So let's cover that before we go into the meaning. Jagat. It is Jagat. It is idam sarvam. But you might, when chanting, you might have heard this usage as idagam sarvam and jagatyan jagat. So these extra sounds, which are not really present anywhere in writing, are aid in making sure that when it is passed on in oral tradition, these subtle sounds which are hard to hear are not lost. Jagatyan jagat. If you keep saying jagat, the it does not have any swara in it, does not have a vowel, right? Somebody in the back seats might mishear it as jagap. Jagap and jagat, what is the difference? If I say jagat, that t is emphasized upon, so that comes. If it is up, if I say up, then the it and up, you know the difference. If you look at my lips closely, you will still be able to see it. But even then, if it's all covered up with beard and nobody can hear it, jagat and jagap there might be errors in transmission, especially because there's an oral tradition. So jagat is because of that, but what is written is jagat, jagatyan jagat. And many places where the anunasik, the nasal sound is followed by consonants of the 5 rows. Again, all of this to explain in detail will take some time, but Vakshuddhi course is the best way to go about it. Jagatyan jagat, the is n, because it is followed by ja, jagatyan jagat. If it were something in the pa pha ba bha ma ro, it would be If it is something in the kaka ga gha nga ro, it will be ang. So please refer to Vakshuddhi points if you want to understand this in more detail. But if the consonant that follows does not belong to any of these 5 consonants, which has been a constant question in Vakshuddhi, as it is happening in Ishavasya idam sarvam, that is where in traditional chanting they add this gum. Instead of idam sarvam, they say idagum sarvam. Does this make sense? So when you listen to other renditions online, you might hear idagum sarvam. That gum comes to emphasize the sound followed by a consonant which is not in any of the 5 rows of consonants. Any questions here? Idagam sarvam. It's clear? Maybe we can find one. Chatagum samaha. In Jiji Vishe, Chatagum samaha they'll say. Instead of Chatam samaha. So, no questions with pronunciations. So, about the first word itself, Isha, Isha, Vasyam. So, I'll put up Shankaracharya's commentary in all of these also. So, he says, Isha is, what is the root sound behind Isha? The root sound is eat. The Tritiya Vibhakti form of eat is Isha. Isha, eat bhyam, eat bhihi is the Tritiya Vibhakti form. So, Paramatmana, he says. The Sanskrit commentary sometimes is harder to understand than the word itself because we have been so separated from Sanskrit language. Sanskrit commentaries are no longer aids in learning, but they are more syllabus to learn in themselves, commentaries. But to understand simply in English, Isha, Vasyam, Idam, Sarvam. By the Creator is inhabited this everything is the word by word translation. I hope the meaning of it is clear. What here, is there anything left which is not inhabited by the Creator? Yat kincha jagatyan jagat. The jagat means that which is in movement, that which somehow transforms, is undergoing some kind of movement in the entire creation, which is all of physicality. All that is, whatever that is unmoving in the creation is just stillness, is the nothing. So some kind of a movement, all of physicality is in. So anything that is in movement in the creation, whatever there is all pervaded or is inhabited by the Creator. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyan jagat. Yat kincha means whatever, all of this. Now that is the first line, which is a what do they call, assertion, which is just saying. Then the next one is a command, saying this is what you should do. So because it's in everything, so how do I know for myself that this is in everything? Tena tyaktena bhunjitha. Bhunjitha is again many meanings, interpretations, but the rough meaning is to experience or to relish or enjoy. There are many meanings. Palayetha is also there, which Shankaracharya uses. But you approach whatever you, with this knowledge, now that you know that whatever there is in creation is inhabited by the Creator, you relish everything, you approach everything, you experience the objects of creation with that sense of dispassion towards it. Because what can you possess? Ma gridhaha. Ma gridhaha is, ma is a suggestion straight away. Do not do this. Do not do what? Gridhaha. Gridhaha meaning covet or want or desire. Kasyasvid dhanam. Whomsoever's dhanam, wealth. Kasyasvid dhanam is to be understood as kasyasvid dhanam. It's not whosoever's wealth, do not covet it. Whosoever's can wealth be. Because it's there, everybody, it's what is there as creation, or what is there as the Creator is in everything else. So whomsoever's can it be? What is that is yours and everywhere else? This kind of philosophy, if not understood well, can land people in trouble. But this is something that you direct inwards. This is not this is not something that you apply on your neighbor and say, oh, whose is wealth, whomsoever's is wealth, your wealth is my wealth, give me some of it. It's something that you turn inwards to change how your perception is towards creation. Anyways, so this is the perspective of the renunciant who wants to realize the true nature of creation itself. The literal meaning of it is all of this creation, whatsoever in this creation, in this universe is in motion, is all pervaded by the creator. So with that understanding, with a sense of tyakta, or tyakta meaning leaving aside, with that sense of leaving aside and that sense of renunciation, approach everything and relish everything, experience everything, and do not covet wealth, which will only get you into more and more entanglement and away from the true realization of what the creator within you. Now, anybody wants to debate, discuss this mantra, or anybody wants to try just chanting it out aloud, you can do that now, before we move on to the next mantra. Once again, let me repeat the mantra one more time because I see people trying to read it. Then we'll take questions. Ishavasya midam sarvam yat kincha jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma grudha kasyasvid dhanam. Clear? Yoliji, is it okay for you? Able to pronounce it? Perfect. Or somebody else had a question? Cool. So kasya, the literal meaning of kasya is whose. It's a question word. All question words in Sanskrit have ka in them. Kaha is who, kim is what, kutra is where. The ka. Kasya is of whom, shashti vibhakti. Of whom, and that svit, Shankaracharya says it's a anarthakaha nipataha, which means it's just there. It's not really of much meaning, he says in his commentary. But other commentators try to interpret meaning with every single syllable, but he says it's not of much importance, but it is used to emphasize. For example, to give a Hindi example, kiska hi ho sakta hai, that he. Kasya is kiska. Yaroda in Tamil, or yavari in Telugu. I don't know what it is in Chinese. Yoliji, you'll have to help me out. Of whom. I hope that's clear. And swit is kiska hi ho sakta hai. That emphasis, kasya chit and kasya swit, is that additional emphasis. Kasya swit dhanam. Dhanam is wealth. Right? So, how should it be understood? Jiska bhi dhan ho, whomsoever's wealth, do not covet it. Not yours, not even if you think it's your own wealth in your own home, or somebody else's, do not covet it, is one interpretation of it. Ma gritaha is do not covet. One more interpretation of it is do not covet, ma gritaha. There are no multiple meanings. Kasyasvid dhanam is whose can wealth be? It cannot be of anybody, because all of it is inhabited by the same being, same creator. So it's not that you can take it and you can give it. There is no such thing as it belonging to somebody and going away from somebody. It's just there, and everything that you think is yours, you also are the property of the same being, and that is also the property of the same being. It's all inhabited by the creator. In how your experience should be towards that wealth. It does not mean, again, see, this vairagya is a very dangerous concept, which people think, oh, now vairagya means I'll be detached from everything, which means I'll become like one unresponsive stone. I'm not, if there is a breeze, no, vairagya, I should not enjoy this breeze. No, right? In life itself is a throbbing response to everything. You of course relish and enjoy every aspect of life, taste, smell, hear. It's not that you see those sense inputs as the villain. You relish, you be in the world with that understanding of that dispassion within. Dispassion, again, the word, English English words, dispassion does not mean disentanglement from within, that, oh, this is mine now. This is mine to possess, and this is mine to. So if there is something that, so all this bondage and this separation from the real experience that I, the creator is functioning within me, is gone because of that, what is called as ajnana. It will come further on. But how you approach that is what Bhunjita says, which is you approach everything, you relish something with a sense of disentanglement, with the realization that creator is there, it's functioning within every single aspect of creation. With that, you relish. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Clear?